All right, here I am at the start of my first American League series for the 1994 playoffs that weren't. And we have number one seed New York hosting Baltimore for game one here. I did do the series personnel checks for both teams. Baltimore was okay. However, New York was missing Bob Wickman, reliever. Pretty good reliever. That could be a problem for them because their pitching staff is not great. And Baltimore is pretty good in terms of defense and pitching. So that already makes a sort of troubling matchup even more troubling for the Yankees here in 1994. So I thought I'd go ahead and roll some video and see how this thing starts. Looking at the pitching in this series, it's probably going to be quite a bit more offensive in nature than what we saw between Montreal and Houston. All right, so off we go. 7 is the control roll, contact is the ability, 9 is the result. That is a single unless heat is 5, his heat is 3. So Anderson on base with a single and some speed. Nine is discipline. His discipline is 6 plus 6 is 12. That's a shallow fly out the runner has to hold. I'm playing in my default mode. I don't always check these unless it's, I don't know, a significant out, maybe the third out with a rally going on. Heat. Oh, but he rolls a 1 and his heat is his lowest rating. That's a 4 on heat, and he gives up another single, Rafael Palmeiro. That is a single plus. Palmeiro has the option to stretch it. That the runner will automatically advance 2 bases. And Palmeiro has the opportunity to stretch that to a double. He would only do so on a 0 through 3 on a 10-sided die, and so he'll hold this time at first. And probably most of the time he would hold. Runners at the corners now for Chris Hoyles, the catcher, against Jimmy Key, the lefty for New York. Composure, and he rolls a 12-17 as the result, and that is a ground out double play off the right-handed bat. It gets grounded back to Jimmy Key, so he's going to spin and get the out at first, and then they complete the double play. He'll spin and get the out at second, and then they'll get the double play at first. So there we go. That's probably a 1-6-3. So Key helping his own cause right there. Gets out of that jam. So there's a case where it's kind of fun to look at the field deck and see, imagine how that double play unfolded. All right, Bernie Williams, Mattingly, and Boggs coming up for New York against Sid Fernandez. I drew the starting pitchers randomly, and then we'll just go from here. Heat. 9 is the total result, and that is a strikeout. Heat. Again, this is a 6. That is a single unless contact is low. This is Mattingly, so contact is not low. So there is a single for Mattingly. He's on first. Boggs now looking to take advantage of this situation. Composure, and we do have to check for lefty-lefty, or in this case, opposite batter. And as it turns out, these are both lefties. So the opposite batter exception does not apply, and we stick with Composure, but Composure is not a great rating for him. All right, the result is 2 plus 3 is 5 on Composure, and that is a single, unless discipline is low, but this is Wade Boggs, so discipline is not low. Let's see here, and that is a normal single. The runner advances 1 base. Not much speed out there. And here comes Paul O'Neill. So Mattingly and Boggs do their job. They do their thing. O'Neill has some impressive numbers here. What a season he was having. Can Fernandez deal with it? Composure. And guess what? Both lefties. So again, the lack of a right-handed hitter here fails to activate this contact. And that's maybe something I should have considered when I put the lineup together, right? But I failed to do that. So, Composure plus 8 is 11. That is a strikeout looking unless contact is high. His contact is high, so he avoids the strikeout, but he still pops out and the runners hold. All right, off the lefty bat, that pop-up was caught at second base. 2 on, 2 out for DH, Danny Tartable. Command, 9. This ball is in play. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, this is in the outfield. Center field, this is a range check. Is the center fielder's range greater than the batter's power? That's the true-false statement we're looking at. Range greater than batter's power. And so the Baltimore center fielder has a range of 7. His power is a 6. The answer is yes. Therefore, he makes a sensational catch, running that ball down way back on the wall, and the runners would normally advance on the deep fly, but they don't here because that's the 3rd out. So 2 men left stranded. For the Yankees, both teams threaten here in the first inning, but come up empty. Go ahead and play the second inning here. Here's Baines DHing against Jimmy Key. 9. Discipline, 9 is the result. That is a single unless Composure is 5 or better, and it is. So he's going to get the ground out instead. Cal Ripken. You notice he's got that Iron Man trait on there. So when I rolled on the series personnel check, if it had implicated that Ripken would have been missing the series, it would have been ignored because he would not miss the series with that trait. Composure, 10 is the result. Fly out, speed check, so that's a medium deep fly ball. No runners on base, so the speed check doesn't matter. And Jeffrey Hammond's 2 out, nobody on. Composure again. I'm hitting this 3 slot a lot. Opposite batter, yes. We have a righty versus a lefty, so Hammond is able to use that to his advantage and switch this from Composure to contact. Contact 6 plus 4 is 10. And, the roll wasn't good enough. He grounds out. Anyway, it was a tough ground out off the right-handed bat. Back to the pitcher. And they will get the out at first to retire the side. Bottom of the second, no score. Gerald Williams with Stanley and Gallego also coming up. Contact, looking for lefty-lefty. That is not the case. 5 and 3 is 8, and he will ground out. Needed a better roll than that. Mike Stanley. Heat. 8 on Heat. That is going to be a fly out unless power is high. And it is. It's high enough to, well, it's a deep fly out. So it goes from a medium to a deep, which would advance runners. But there are no runners to advance. So it just makes it a more interesting fly out. And now we have Mike Gallego. Composure, 12. And he grounds out to short. 1, 2, 3, go the Yankees. We're now through 2 innings, no score as of yet. And so that's how this thing begins. I will, as I go through this series, I'll roll video on some of it, and maybe we'll get some interesting moments. I don't want to make a bunch of long videos of total playthroughs. I'm not sure how interested people are in that. All right, so but that's a look at how this starts off, and I'll post the results out on the summit on Delphi if you care to follow what happens in this series. See you.